What's up, boys? I tell you what, here we are, driving with Gingers, little extended edition today. No more broken up segments. This is now a YouTube channel, and driving with Gingers, otherwise known as DWG. I'm rocking a Leafs shirt today on behalf of all the Leaf fans and suffering Leaf fans. I hope that a Canadian team can do well tonight, because the Winnipeg Jets lost last night. So let's get right into her, boys. Last night's games, 5 games. I would probably consider all 5 underdog wins. I mean, St. Louis is hot, but Winnipeg would have been the favorite 3-4 weeks ago. So, and of course, St. Louis being the road team, they squeaked it out. Winnipeg can't go down 2-0 at home, so that's going to be interesting to watch. The Dallas Stars, they won on the road again. Second team on the road, winning, and in Nashville, which is a tough spot. That's a weird series. I don't know how that's going to roll. And then the same place as Winnipeg. If they can't win at home, if they can't go to Dallas split, they might be in a little bit of trouble too. The Islanders, even though they're the higher seed and they had home ice last night, I think a lot of people were picking Pittsburgh at 6 or 7. The Islanders won an exciting game last night. What an exciting game. Crowd was great. Crowd was loud, but the crowd apparently was like 14,000. So, loud for a 14,000 crowd, but again, it's still 14,000. I mean, you got to draw more than 14,000 to make it in the NHL. Winnipeg sold out is like 15.5, and they only have 15,000 seats in the place. So, but the Islanders, for full credit, they got scored on late, and they came back and they won a thriller in overtime. Barzal, what a move! Holy smokes! And that's going to be a good series. That's going to go the distance, I think. So, and then Columbus, how about Columbus going on the road? And coming back, when I turned that game on, I was flicking through the channels last night. When I put that game on last night, Tampa was up 3-0, and shortly after I turned it on, Columbus made the comeback. And that one was really, really odd to see Columbus pull that one out. That was a really good game, though. And Josh Anderson with the shorty to tie it up. Holy smokes, what a play. If Bobrovsky stays hot, who knows? They got the split. They got, all the teams that need to, and if they need to win the series, they got to win one on the road. A lot of them got one last night, so that makes for an interesting long series. And then the late game last night, I didn't watch too much of it. Basically, all the action happened in the second period. San Jose put a beat down on Vegas in the second, and that was all she wrote for Vegas. Vegas just needs something. I don't know. They just need a jolt here, and I don't know what it is. But San Jose came ready to play last night, and they looked great last night. So that's your nightly rant up in the show. In the O, the London Knights, they couldn't close out their series against the Guelph Storm. The Storm, they won the game last night. I think they were up 3-1 or 3-0 at one point, and London came back, and I think they squeaked out the old win 4-3, I think it was. That series is 3-1 now, London going back to Bud Gardens. And obviously I had Guelph making a series of it. I actually had Guelph winning the series in 7. And I think London is probably going to finish them off here. But if London doesn't win at home in Game 5, you got to figure that Guelph can pull one out at home in Game 6, so that might end up being going back to Game 7 back in London. So Game 5 is just absolutely pivotal for the London Knights to close it out, because the Saginaw Spirit are on the verge of sweeping the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds, and if that happens, Saginaw is going to be ready and primed to play the winner of the London Guelph series. So, and of course in the East, Ottawa is just rolling right now. And they're on the precipice of sweeping their second round series after sweeping their first round series. So they could be going 8-0 heading into the Eastern Final. where they'd be playing either Niagara, who is up 2-1 on Oshawa right now, and that series could end up being a longer series if Oshawa can pull out another win at home, Game 4. So we'll see what happens in the O there. Of course, the Perth Blue Wings are the CCHL2 champions. First time since 1996. Well deserved. They've been to the finals 3 of the last 4 years. And the team that they had lost to in all those previous years had won 5 straight titles. And then, of course, them beating the Ottawa Junior Canadians this year. Huge win for that franchise. For Perth, pretty good for them. London Nationals are in the final right now as well for their Junior B finals, so that's something to keep an eye on as well. And the Raptors, we have figured out, are going to be playing the Orlando Magic, basically where I spent most of my February and March, down in Orlando. And they're going to be starting on Saturday, so Super Saturday, 5 o'clock start, just like I said it would happen. And then they go. They have a couple days off, and they don't get back going till Tuesday at Scotiabank Arena, and then they got a couple more days off, and then they play Friday and Sunday. So Good Friday, Easter Sunday. So I think it's probably a bit of arena conflict issues, but I also think that the Raptors are okay with those couple day breaks because they want the guys rested, and they think that if they sweep, they'll have a bigger break. They'd rather have 2 days off and play again than have a week off of practice, the rest versus rust. So maybe they figure if they go 5 games, which I think a lot of people would pick Raptors in 5, by the time the series is done with the 2-day breaks, maybe some of those series that are 6 or 7 games will be done as well. We've got some good matchups. Boston and Indiana. They're playing. That'll be a good 4-5 series. And then we've got Philly and who's Philly playing? Well, we got Milwaukee's playing Detroit. That should be a bang 'em crash series. And then Brooklyn is playing. Brooklyn's going to be playing Philly, so that should be a good series too. So good bracket for the Raptors as well. The Raptors are going to fall into a bracket where if the top seeds win their second round, Boston, Milwaukee would play, which is I would want to avoid playing those two second round. Philly and Toronto would play. A lot of people say you be careful what you wish for, but I actually think the Philly's a good matchup for Toronto. I think they're not ready to win yet. I think they're still finding their way. They got Jimmy Butler, who's a tough player to play, and he makes great shots. But I don't think Simmons and Embiid are really there yet. I think Embiid can be basically double teamed. Where you put Gasol on him. If you have to foul Gasol out, you got Ibaka right there to lean on him as well. So those two guys are going to keep Embiid in check. Lowry will be like a dog on a bone, and he'll keep Butler in check. They're both very similar. And then Simmons, who's a rangy guy, could pose some problems, but when you put him against one of the top defensive players like Kawhi Leonard, they're going to cancel each other out as well. So that second round potential matchup could bode really well, because then it really comes down to who's going to make shots for the Raptors, and I think Danny Green is the X factor in a lot of series, because he's a guy that comes with a lot of experience and pedigree, leadership. And then we haven't even mentioned, after all those canceling out, we haven't even mentioned Pascal Siakam, who is going to win the most improved player of the year this year. And he's a guy that, the rangy guy, you could probably put him up with Simmons, but that frees up Leonard, or it's just going to free up a guy. Toronto's got too many weapons, and Philly can't match those weapons, so it should be really interesting to see what that happens. Of course, the Masters this weekend, that should be really interesting as well. It'd be nice to see Tiger win, or at least get into those final 2 pairings on Sunday. That's always a magical time. Mike Weir's back in her. Mike Weir's got the old lifetime pass, and he's going to use it like he should. If I had won, I'd use it till the day I died. And so that's a special thing for Weirzy. And we got another Canadian who just qualified last weekend, actually, in Texas. So he'll be playing. So we got a couple guys to watch. Spieth's not golfing too well. I don't like Rory. I can't stand Rory, so I hope he doesn't win. He's trying to go for the career cycle. It would be nice to see DJ win, though. I'd love to see DJ win or Tiger win. Those would be my top 2 guys. Spieth I'm okay with too. Those are the 3 guys I'd love to see win it. But there's a lot of other guys too that are right there. That could win it. Brooks Koepka, he's won a couple. I don't need to see Brooks Koepka win again. I certainly don't want to see Bubba Watson win. Apparently he's a huge dick to his caddy and just not a nice person in general. So Bubba can suck it. Hope he doesn't even make the cut, to be honest with you. But we'll be keeping an eye on that. And Super Saturday, for those of you guys that are big in the GTA, we got Jays at 3 o'clock, TFC at 4 o'clock, Raptors at 5 o'clock, Leafs at 8 o'clock, and then for sports fans, UFC 236 goes at 10 o'clock on Saturday night pay-per-view. The title fight will be Holloway, who's an amazing fighter, pound for pound, one of the top fighters out there. He's going to be fighting a guy that I actually had a chance to meet and have a chit-chat with a couple weeks ago in Orlando. So Dustin Poirier is going to take another shot at Holloway and see if he can shock the world. I don't think Holloway's too rangy. I don't think he can catch him, but that's why they do the fights. Anything can happen. So that's an interesting matchup there as well. And then lots of hockey still going on. The playoffs are getting underway. The one thing I'd like in the West of the NBA, I would really love to see Golden State get smacked around. That'll be interesting, but they're going to roll. The matchup, I think it's OKC and Houston. That's going to be the Western matchup that everyone's going to be watching for. Lots of superstars, and that one could swing either way. And I think that's a 3-6 series, so that's an interesting matchup. So we'll see what happens there. So that's all I got for you today, boys. No breaks, no commercial breaks, no nothing. We're just going straight through today, and I think I'll put a second segment up just for fun today, a little bonus because I was too busy yesterday, and you guys can read into it what you will. So have a great day, boys. We'll talk to you later.